commits to changing the structure of this country. That is the only way we can get out of this morass. It's very clear. Look, people, over the years, we have listened to all kind of platitudes, and people have made choices on basis of that platitude, and nothing has changed. And nothing is going to change if you don't move beyond those platitudes to go to the fundamentals. This country needs a proper surgery. So when we need a surgery, you cannot just be doing elite cosmetics.
But have you noticed that it's only one section? It was saying that all this change to, change the constitution seems to be coming from just one section of the country. Not everybody feels that the constitution, there's anything wrong with the constitution. So how is that party that's going to tell you we're going to do something fundamental about this constitution get into power in the very first instance if they're not appealing to all of Nigeria? I
do not think so. If you check I remember that in the year 2000, when former President Olusegun Obasanjo was president of Nigeria, he called a meeting of leaders of thoughts from across the country in Abuja. All the 6 zones were represented. The Southwest zone, which were part, was led by late Senator Abraham Adesanya. And at the end of the party in Abuja, 4 out of these zones voted that we should have a national conference. The Southeast, the South-South, the Southwest, and the Middle Belt all voted for a national conference. So it's only the Northwest and Northeast delegates who say, well, we have to go back home and we'll come back. Maybe they go and meet Obasanjo tomorrow. So if 4 out of these zones said they wanted a national conference, you cannot say they're a minority.
Well, in all of this, do you see anything, any kind of blame that can be heaped on INEC for registering more political parties, knowing full well that some were deregistered, and we thought we are trying to harmonize, let's use that word, these political parties in the polity. But more are coming in, and VOP, PDM, and a whole lot others.
You cannot blame INEC. I mean, it's like somebody blaming channels that you are reporting news. Your duty is to report news as they happen, either good, bad, ugly. That's why you are here. INEC is there. The law under which INEC operates today allows that anybody that comes forward and say, I want to be a party, wants to meet the guidelines, you are registered. So INEC has no problem, unless we are asking that INEC should become a law to itself and say, no, I've had enough. But and who tells you that the problems are more structural? It's about, look, today, if we restructure this country today, you have all these parties. Most of the people today want to be president today. They will not want to president because don't forget that the First Republic, the late Sadana of Sokoto, considered it infradig to be Prime Minister of Nigeria. He sent Tafawa Balewa because in that era, the powers were at the regions. So he sent his lieutenant to be Prime Minister of Nigeria while he remained as Premier of Northern Region. So today is because we have concentrated to everything at the center. And everything is over corruption. That's why it stakes so high. That's why everybody's talking about presidency today. If we put this a proper structure for this country in a true federal arrangement, you see that the rat race for the center will lessen. And in fact, even today, look at it, if you have to reconstruct the country today, we definitely have to do something with the National Assembly.
Okay. Just to give us a moment, let's get the headline news out of the way. Melinda Akinlame is standing by with it, but we'll come back and then just wrap this up in a moment. Melinda Akinlame, please go ahead with the headlines.
Thank you so much, Chamberlain, and these are the headlines. The meeting between the Minister of Labour and Productivity, Mr. Emeka Nwogu, and officials of the joint health sector unions continues in Abuja today. Briefing journalists at the end of yesterday's meeting, Mr. Nwogu says a lot of issues have been agreed on by the parties and other issues will be discussed today. He, however, declined to speak on those issues, saying the meeting has not been deadlocked and there is hope that the strike action will be called off soon. Now, while efforts are continuing in Abuja to resolve the disagreement between the health workers and the federal government, another forum expected to also address the issue has opened in Lagos, southwest Nigeria. It's the 56th meeting of the National Council on Health, the highest policy-making body in Nigeria's health sector. The Minister of Health, Professor Onyebuchi Chukwu, and commissioners from the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory are also expected to attend the meeting with the theme, health sector and beyond 2015. Civil rights societies in the southwestern part of Nigeria have challenged the Taraba State governor, who just returned to the country from treatment abroad, to speak to the world about his health condition. The Civil Society Network Against Corruption and Community for Democracy and the Rights of People have insisted that Nigerians, especially the people of Taraba State, need to know if Governor Suntai is still fit to govern. And on the foreign scene, UN chemical weapons inspectors are due to start a second day of investigations into last week's attacks in the suburbs of the Syrian capital, Damascus. The UN team came under sniper fire as they tried to visit an area west of the city yesterday. The US and its allies are considering military strikes on Syria, although Russia, Syria's ally, has warned against this. And those are the headlines. It's back to you, Chamberlain.
All right, and thank you, Melinda. Concluding moments now with Yinka Odomaki. Well, I have a comment here from Shegun Bakare who says, I'm taken aback by the sudden turnaround of Mr. Odomaki. I hope it's not a case of you not getting what you wanted from the merger. But let me add this question so you can respond to this one together. You talk so much about corruption. You say some chieftains of APC riddled or charges of corruption facing them, or they're facing charges of corruption. You supported Buhari at that time. You were his spokesperson. And now he's in APC. If they hold their primaries, who knows? We're not sure. He may become the candidate of APC to fly the presidential flag. If that happens, I mean, should he wait for that to happen? If officials of APC or chieftains of APC are faced with corruption charges, what should he do? Should he quit the party? Because if his people are riddled with corruption cases, how is he going to rub off on Nigerians?
Well, starting from Shegun Bakare, there's nothing I want in any merger or any arrangement. I supported General Buhari in 2011. I don't even belong to the CPC. I never registered as a member of CPC. I didn't belong to CPC anywhere. I supported the man because I believed that he had the credentials to take us out of the question of corruption. So it's not about wanting anything. And I even in 2011, I didn't ask for the man for anything, and he's alive. So, but the question that faces us today, like I said, is the fact that this country is going under. And I can tell you authoritatively that even if you go for elections the way we are, without addressing these issues, we may well just be kissing Nigeria by. Because there's so much tension today about the North things our turn, South says you don't think Jonathan must be there and the rest. And the reason why this is there is because of this lopsided arrangement. So if you don't address it, I'm not a prophet, but I can tell you, my Bible progress is that if you go to elections this way, maybe the easiest way to disintegrate Nigeria. So there are issues that are more far larger than the question of who become president and the rest that we have to address.
Yeah, but
today.
what about for what he stands for?
Yes, if a tree cannot make a forest. It's about a structure. I was reading in the papers a few days ago that they even had a press conference. Somebody was trying to ask him whether he was going to run, and the chairman of the party said, "No, you cannot answer that question. If you want to, anybody that want to talk about want to run for office, you go and there's a press conference in his house." So,
you think that was right?
You're also into public affairs.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
So,
Publicity. Yeah. Was that badly managed or what?
I mean, I do not expect. I mean, a person of General Buhari to have been treated that way, and which may tell you that, and I'm still want to wait to even see that whether he would even emerge their candidates given the assembly has found himself.
Are you still a spokesman?
No. So because I do want to know if somebody comes with credentials of anti-corruption and you find yourself in a very corrupt assembly, so what mandate do they give him? So they will take their money, make him president, and ask him to go and stop corruption in Nigeria. But let's do that for now. But like I said, the most urgent business that faces us as a country today is to rescue this country first. And the only way to rescue it is that we must sit down and address these fundamental issues.
Just quickly before we go, did the General also share that view in terms of structural rearrangement?
Well, in 2011, if you look at Buhari Bakare campaign manifesto, the first thing on that agenda was this, to restructure Nigeria into a true federal arrangement.
All right, Nico Dumaki, spokesperson of Afenifere. Thank you for coming on this morning.
My pleasure.
I almost twisted my tongue. Yes, but I got it this time. Thank you for coming on this morning. We're back after this break. Join us again.